President Donald John TrumpConway's husband responds to Trump tweet on Cohen. Other than that, totally scot-free. Strategist behind Warren's political rise to meet with O'Rourke. Report appeals court denies Trump bid to reinstate asylum ban. Moore's trade negotiations with North American countries and his tariff truce with China will be the focus of Sunday's news shows, as members of the White House economic team join the networks to discuss the president's discussions with China and replacement for the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow will appear on Fox News Sunday, where he will likely face questions about Thursday's stock market slide, largely attributed to fears about economic growth and Trump's trade war with China. The slide was largely erased Thursday afternoon following news that the Federal Reserve may soon implement a pause in planned interest rate hikes, but fears about the future of the president's trade negotiations with China remain. The two countries agreed upon a 90-day pause in tariff hikes last week, with the understanding that hikes would continue if a deal was not reached within that time period. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer Bob Emmett Lighthizer McConnell urges GOP senators to call Trump about tariffs. Companies brace for trade war. Moore will also appear on CBS Face the Nation, and is expected along with Kudlow to discuss the White House's efforts to lobby Congress on behalf of the USMCA, the NAFTA replacement signed by Trump and the leaders of Canada and Mexico. The treaty, which requires Senate approval, is unlikely to make it to a Senate vote until next year, according to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Addison, Mitchell McConnell. Trump tells McConnell to let Senate vote on criminal justice reform. The Hill's Morning Report, presented by T-Mobile. The political currents that will drive the shutdown showdown. Senate edges closer to rebuking Trump on Saudi Arabia. More are Kentucky, but the White House is pushing lawmakers to move on that issue and others before December's end. Sends. Marco Antonio Rubio Meadows says, too early to tell if special House election should be held in North Carolina. Kobach, very concerned voter fraud may have happened in North Carolina. Mattis, investigation into killing of Khashoggi is ongoing. More are Florida, and Chris Scott Murphy. Overnight defense, now are tapped for UN envoy. Trump teases changes to Joint Chiefs of Staff. Trump knocks Tillerson as dumb as a rock. Scathing report details Air Force failures before Texas shooting. Senate edges closer to rebuking Trump on Saudi Arabia. Overnight defense, GOP senators rip Saudi prince after CIA briefing. Top general says Afghan war at a stalemate. Mattis extends border mission through January. Pompeo gives Russia deadline on nuclear arms treaty. More, Khan, who sit on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, will also likely discuss the trade deal from the Senate's perspective, while International Monetary Fund Director Christine Lagarde will make a rare appearance on CBS to discuss trade reform. Another top issue in this week's headlines was the Friday filing of a sentencing memo for Michael Cohen, Trump's longtime lawyer and fixer, on behalf of prosecutors from the Southern District of New York, who wrote that Cohen and the president were involved in an illegal hush money scheme during the later days of the 2016 election to pay off women who claimed to have had affairs with Trump. Top Democrats from the Oversight and Intelligence Committees in the House will appear on CBS and CNN, while Maine Sen. Angus King, John Bolton engaging in deliberate ignorance about Khashoggi killing tape. Angus King, Trump administration giving a pass to dictators around the world. Sunday shows preview, Trump-Jen Roberts dispute. Ivanka emails in spotlight. More of the Senate Intelligence Committee will appear on Fox News and NBC. Here's the full lineup. ABC's This Week sends Marco Rubio, Our Florida, and Chris Murphy. Khan, NBC's Meet the Press sends Rand Paul Howard Paul Meadows says, too early to tell if special House election should be held in North Carolina. Kobach, very concerned voter fraud may have happened in North Carolina. Sen. Paul must release his hold on Israel Security Assistance Authorization Act. More are Kentucky, and Angus King, Gov. Elect Tony Evers. D. Weiss, CBS's Face the Nation sends John Randolph Thune on the money. Markets roiled by trade tensions, rally on hopes of Fed pause on rate hikes. Senate sends 2-week spending measure to Trump. Consumer Bureau pick confirmed trade deficit at highest levels since 2008. Trump runs into GOP opposition with NAFTA threat. Trump's court picks held hostage by Mueller. Bill Moore, RSD, and Marco Rubio, Our Florida, Rep. Adam Schiff. Adam Bennett Schiff. Silicon Valley, Huawei executive facing possible U.S. fraud charges. Dem blames White House for failure of election security bill. FCC investigating wireless carriers over coverage data. Assange rejects deal to leave embassy. Dem lawmaker, Trump Jr. lied to Congress on 2 occasions. Roger Stone attacks Schiff as full of Schiff over perjury allegations. More. D. Califf. U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer. IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde. CNN's State of the Union. Rubio, Reps. Jerry Nadler. Gerald Jerry Lewis Nadler Collins to serve as ranking Republican of House Judiciary Committee. If the GOP wants to win, it needs to champion the middle class. Nancy Pelosi should be Speaker of the House. More. DNY. And Adam Kinzinger. Adam Daniel Kinzinger. GOP lawmakers say party isn't trying to learn from midterm losses. GOP lawmaker defends me. Love from Trump attacks. I was disgusted when I heard it. Overnight defense. Officials rush to deny writing anonymous op-ed. Lawmakers offer measure on naming NATO headquarters after McCain. U.S. India signed deal on sharing intel. More. RL. Fox News Sunday. Cheney, Baker.